phone to record with and the TV to show because I can't figure out how everybody does it. So, but I'm doing a reaction to Uncle Tom 2, An American Odyssey, because I saw it when it first came out last year, and it's truly an amazing documentary, and I think everybody should see it. And I don't see anybody talking about it or watching it, and so I paid for it, and I'm going to do a reaction to it and commentary on it, to keep it fair use, and avoid all the copyright issues. So I am going to have to pause quite a bit, and I'm going to be breaking this up, but I'm going to try to upload them all, get them all uploaded, get them all done tonight, and because I'm not going to edit them. I don't know how to do that anyways, and I don't care enough to. So, this is, as I said, Uncle Tom 2, An American Odyssey, by Larry Elder and Chad Jackson. It's got a lot of big heavy hitter names in there, like Officer Brendan Tatum, Jesse Lee Peterson, Carol Swain. It's got Alan West, Ben Carson. He's a great one. And you'll recognize a lot of faces in here. And if you watch this and everything, go to their channels, go find them on their Facebooks or whatever, and give them some good feedback, because this is awesome. And I highly suggest you go and rent it or buy it yourself. You can rent it on YouTube right now for $3.99, $4.99 in high def. And I think you can buy it for like $12.99 on YouTube. Or you can go to UncleTom.com. Anyways, as I said, this is a reaction and commentary, so I will be pausing. This is fair use. No copyright problems. Which I only have 28 subs anyway, so I doubt that's going to be a problem. Sorry, that's my dogs. Stop.
My hope is that this will help to break the spell. The spell that so many people are under. That keeps them angry, makes them bitter, blinds them from the truth, and realize that they're being deceived, that they've been lied to, that we've all been lied to our entire life. My hope is that people will begin to wake up.
That was Chad Jackson. He's obviously going to be, this is going to be kind of centered around him and his research that he does for this movie, for this documentary. I'm going to give you a trigger warning now. It is well worth it to stick it out and just suck it up and deal with that trigger, because it was even triggering for me at the end. My mind was so blown, I couldn't get my job off the floor for like days afterwards. I actually ended up, I've been for months, I wanted somebody to react to it so bad, and I haven't really seen anybody react to the whole thing at all. I've seen a couple people react to the trailer or whatever for it, and I've seen a couple people review it, but not really, but that was just them talking about it, having seen it, and that was mostly people that got to go to the premiere of it. But, yeah, it's going to trigger the hell out of you. I don't care what race you are. It's going to trigger you, so be prepared. Shout out to Lou Valentino, his channel here on YouTube. If you see this, I hope you watch it. And he's an amazing reactor, by the way. Amazing channel. Just really good. He does all kinds of stuff. Please go check out his channel. Sub, like, subscribe. If you want, tell him DJ Michelle said hi. Everybody's so happy. equals happiness. Careers and loneliness equals misery.
If you care to think at all, it's very clear that something is going on here. There's something to this, man. Have we been lied to this whole time?
I'm definitely born in the wrong era. Because this wholesome stuff, that's where I want to be. Smiles. See?
I'm here at Fort Monroe in Hampton, once known as Point Comfort, the very spot where the first enslaved Africans arrived in America 401 years ago in 1619. The atrocities my ancestors endured, packed and stacked on slave ships like pieces of property, brought to this country to build it with their blood, sweat, and...
Shout to Van on the LFR Family Channel. What about 1619? Go check out his videos and you'll see why that's funny. Love him, by the way.
Tears. Psychiatrists say trauma like that can affect a people for generations. 7-year-old Wenta Amore Rogers' passion during a recent protest in New York struck a chord across the country. The amount of passion in her voice, in her eyes for a child that young made me not just see her, it made me see our ancestor.
7-year-old children don't act that angry about causes unless they're taught to and told to. They don't have a real understanding of it. They don't. They just know what they're told to do and that they're supposed to be angry because when they're that young, they're still everything. They're just a sponge. That's it. And it's just so sad that they have taught that child to look that angry, to be that. I mean, why start a child off being miserable like that? That child should be eating ice cream and playing in parks and playing hula hoop and skipping rope and just having fun and being all smiles. She shouldn't even be taught anything to be angry like that. Get mad at me if you want, but she shouldn't. She's supposed to be an innocent child. Let her be that.
Before her.
So that little girl learned that from history. She learned that from her parents.
And it's everybody's parents are doing it to them these days.
So important for us to continue
ruining these poor little kids,
stories.
Taking their innocence.
Nationally renowned psychiatrist Dr. Dion Metzger says the unrest we see today is 401 years in the making.
And the point of slavery, to the point of, whippings and killing and lynchings.
The whole idea of using slavery today as an excuse for the crime and dysfunction in the Black community doesn't make a lot of sense. If you look at the Blacks that came out of slavery,
Wow.
they were relatively
well they're
prosperous, and you did not have the dysfunction.
I've never in my life been doing that well as those people were in those pictures. Okay, few year period when I was married to somebody who had money. That doesn't really count though. But, yeah, so generational wealth, eat a dick, because that's never happened in my life. Or in any of my families going back, I'm going to say since Adam and Eve, so.
Crime that you see taking place today.
That's so sad.
Black people are constantly being told that because of slavery, because of systemic racism, that their anger and their bitterness and their rage is justified.
Is it possible that as Black people, we are experiencing a PTSD from what they went through 401 years ago?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just because we didn't experiencing it, us learning about the history or even from family stories, it's the same thing.
Okay, in the comments, if you know anything about your genealogy, your family line going back, because in mine, there's some indentured servitude, and in my Native American part, there was a lot of bloodbaths that happened. And I'm not just talking about hands of white people either. I'm talking about from other tribes. So do I get to claim that PTSD from a few hundred years ago? Shit that people I don't know, and I don't mean that to be insensitive about slavery. That was awful. We all get that. Nobody disputes that. But everybody can go back far enough in their line and find something to use as an excuse to be angry and to not do anything with their lives and just to blame the world for everything. How's that doing for you? Where's that getting you? The world don't owe anybody shit, and it ain't ever gonna. No matter whether you think you deserve it, no matter what you actually do, it doesn't matter. The world doesn't owe you anything, and it doesn't bow down to whatever you want. The sooner you realize that and get up off your butt and just take control of your own life and your own happiness, I think the sooner you'll find you can actually get up off your butt and be happy. And nobody outside of you will be able to take it away from you like they can now. We all let our happiness depend on outside things, never inside us. And that's why we never can hold on to it.
That does not make a lot of sense, given that blacks coming out of slavery had lives that were more functional.
Look at that.
The functionality of black lives at the turn of the century was because blacks were deeply religious people. They adhered to strong Judeo-Christian values and principles. And to the extent that they get further and further away from those principles, I think that you see more dysfunction in black community.
I'm pausing her there because it's not just in black communities. All communities have gotten further and further away from Judeo-Christian values, or name of religion, whichever one you want to pick. I think people need to believe in something, but something with a sense of right and wrong and a code to it, I do highly suggest Christianity. I am a Christian, and I think the world has really gone to hell in a handbasket the further we've gotten away from Christianity. And it's not just in the black neighborhoods or the black communities, it's in all of us. And until we turn back to it, it's just going to keep getting worse, and we're all going to be miserable. We can all be miserable together, or we can all fix it together. One or the other.
Because they've lost the anchor.
Absolutely. I'm not speaking for black people. I don't know. I'm talking about
Church was
my
the
people,
central
white
point.
people or whatever. People in general.
It was the center point of social gathering,
Potlucks.
culture, religious activity, everything. Every Sunday, you woke up, you had breakfast with your mom and dad, and then all of us came out of the house at the same time, and we started walking toward Sunday school.
Look at that. A young couple out in public together, happy to be seen together, holding hands and everything. Not doing shit on the sly and all that crap. See how happy they are? How many of y'all happy out there in your little situationships? Just saying.
Even if you couldn't sing, you're going to be in the youth choir. And then Wednesday, you would go to youth Bible study. And in the summer, you go to church retreat camp. Those were just expected things.
Church camp was the bomb. That was fun AF. Pot of Gold Youth Ranch down in Comfort, Texas. Highly recommend it.
And that formed the fundamental basis of the black community. It was that sense of right and wrong. It was that sense of morality. It was that sense of discipline that we had. The church was producing hope.
maybe that's where we need to find our hope again. It's back in the church.
It produced within the community a stability of purpose. It held us together. Families were strong. Dad was there. Mom was there. The children were growing up under the influence of a two-parent home.
Happy. Smiles.
That all changed.
It's not because of racism. It's not because of police brutality. It's not because of slavery. It's not because of Jim Crow.
That is Jesse Lee Peterson for those who don't know.
It's not because of white supremacists and white privilege and all that crap they tell you now. It's because of lack of character.
This the gutter right here. You feel me?
Niggas die for this shit.
Niggas die for this shit.
This shit.
You feel me?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, niggas die for this shit. Niggas live for this shit.
Nigga, I'm born and
Niggas
raised.
in jail for this shit.
TG. Free all the homies, everybody. Free Lil Dub, Lil Baby Dub.
Black people lost character.
Okay. If somebody's actually in jail wrongly, yeah. Have the free the your friend t-shirts all day long. Signs, have fundraisers for them, whatever. But if they did something to go to jail, like shot somebody or, got busted with some drugs or selling some drugs or whatever, and I'm not saying that everybody does. I'm just saying I know a lot of people like this. My little sister used to do this all the time. Hey, free so-and-so. And I'm like, what? Why are they in there? Oh, they beat somebody so bad they were in the hospital for months, blah, blah, blah. Don't free so-and-so. No, they're an asshole. Keep them motherfuckers in there. No. That ain't it. No.
Look at all the neighborhoods, the communities, the cities where blacks have taken over. When they move into those areas, they're very nice. But by the time the blacks are done with them, crime, homelessness, they don't paint their home, they don't clean up. It just become a mess.
To be fair, that's not just in the black communities. I think it's just the younger generations of all communities. And I blame my generation because we raised a bunch of entitled, lazy little shits. I mean, not all of us. I know, so don't come at my throat. There's a lot of good kids still out there today. You gotta really look to find them anywhere, but nobody wants to do anything anymore. Nobody wants to work for anything anymore. They just want everything handed to them. And, which is, ironically, why they don't care enough to take care of it when they have it. Because they didn't earn it. When you earn something, you are way more likely to take care of it and respect it. If it's just handed to you, you don't give a shit. That you're not out nothing. You didn't put any blood, sweat, or tears into that. So think about that before you spoil your kids, especially if you spoil them when they're being assholes.
Yeah, my boy.
We grew up to this shit. Like, ain't nothing.
It's because of lack of family, and most black people today do not believe in God.
It's white people too.
They believe about him, but they don't believe in him.
Powerful words.
It wasn't that way when I was growing up,
Nah,
but it's
hell
that
no.
way today.
Where the hell are the parents or older siblings or teachers or somebody, I don't know where these kids are at, where they're smoking like that, but they should have a hand upside the back of their head doing that shit. That's some bullshit. Them kids are like 7 or 8. And if you think that's okay, you're what's wrong with the world today. I said it.
If you walk through any black urban community, you see many black men standing on corners doing nothing.
Get this paper. That's the only thing you can do unless these niggas want smoke. You know? Okay.
Young, middle-aged, and old. Because they're operating under a definition that is different from what God has defined for them as their role as men.
We go to other spots, fuck niggas up.
And I blame women for that shit. Because I mean, well, yeah, they need to stand up too and tell us, no, we're not going to be women too. But yeah, we have really pussified our men down big time. Well, I'm not going to say we, because I ain't done that shit. I don't want no beta. I don't need another fucking bitch, okay? If I want another bitch, well, I wouldn't, because I know I'm crazy enough. I don't want another one like me. But we have just taken every role away from men and left them with no purpose. What else is going to happen to them? Exactly what's happening today. Women need to learn to start. There's nothing wrong with gender roles, first of all. I'm not saying you gotta stay home and have a baby if you don't want to, but I think you're an idiot if you don't. But I'm sorry, I've never seen a truly happy old person who purposely didn't have kids and had a career instead, never had a family. Never seen anybody regret not working more or having a better career. Nobody regrets that. They regret not having a family or not having more time with their family. And yeah, I'm going to take men's side here because we're fucking them over. We've been doing it for a while. And I know exactly when it started and why. But now it's just, we've been doing it for so long. I think girls actually believe that guys ain't shit and that they're just, the sun shines out of every female's ass and they can do no wrong. Bullshit. Some shady bitches around. That's everywhere. No, hell no. And when you leave people no purpose, they're aimless.
Beat niggas up, come through this motherfucker, you gonna die.
You gonna die.
You can't even come to the store and get no motherfucking bottle. You gonna get robbed and killed. You know what I'm saying?
That's sad as fuck.
And niggas do a lot.
Sorry, I can't censor that word out. I'm not saying it.
I'm ashamed of black people. Because we let people take advantage of us.
And you can't even call me back tomorrow?
What are we projecting to the world? What are we rapping about?
Porn star, big booties, let me film it, then shoot it. 3D money, no illusion.
Shout out to Tom McDonald, a great rapper. He doesn't mumble rap. And he actually talks about real shit. I know he'll never see this, but he's like my favorite artist. So, out. So.
It's scary to me at times. That is not black culture. That's a facade.
See? Smiling.
Throughout history, black folks were honorable. They had integrity. That's what black people were. But now, our black people are Jay-Z, Cardi B.
Sorry. Jay-Z. Now, hell no. That's evil. That's evil. If you know, you know. If you don't, why don't you go do some research?
George Floyd.
We like to deify our idols. Now that's after we burn down our own stores. After we've destroyed our own neighborhoods. After we rob our own local businesses. After there are no more sneakers to steal. Then we'll pay.
I just want to point out, it wasn't just black people robbing them stores. I was looking at some white people in there fucking doing it too. It was all of them. I don't think it's a race thing. I think it's a culture thing and an age thing.
Murals on the wall. Our young black boys and black girls are being taught to look up to these individuals. That the purpose in life is to be memorialized on a wall like this.
Same thing happens with gangster rap, trap rap, all that crap, glorifying the thug life, all that shit. And this goes for any of them doing it, I don't care. And it goes for any of them listening to it, I don't care. It's bullshit. Kids can't separate reality from you know, fantasy anymore. Or fiction or whatever. They can't. Clearly.
Images are powerful. You look on churches, powerful images of saints and figures from the Bible, and the goal to communicate the meta-narrative of Scripture. Who we are, why we're here, what's wrong with the world, and how can what is wrong be made right. Your worldview, your religion answers those questions. What we're seeing today is another religion communicating another meta-narrative and another worldview. And these murals are the stained glass windows of this new religion.
That was mind-blowing to me the first time I heard it, because it makes... You don't ever think about it that way until it's put that way, and it's like, wow. But he's absolutely right. That's how it's treated. Tell me, what does this, what is this fighting for? What is this, what good is this doing? Seriously. Nobody in there is giving a damn about a cause. If you're doing that, you do not care about a cause. You can say it all you want, but you're a liar. Lie, 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 lie. You're not fooling anybody. Maybe yourself, but nobody else. Even the ones they're doing it with you, they don't believe it either. That's why they'll stomp all over your fucking ass just to get over you to something that they want. It's disgusting. Every one of the riders should have been arrested. And yes, January 6th, anybody that participated in the actual rioting, them too.
I wish we didn't have to do this. I wish it wasn't the case that these kind of things were going on, but they are. And these things are going on.
That's not protesting.
Because we're at war. And I say that, and that makes a lot of people uncomfortable. This idea of the war that we're a part of, the battle that we're a part of, the war that is raging in the marketplace of ideas. When we go to the marketplace of ideas, we have to be reminded of Paul's words. When we walk according to the flesh, we are not waging war in the flesh. This is not an easy battle to engage in. Our adversary is vicious, unrelenting, and there are some who've been captured.
This is just acting a damn fool. Trying to think you're cool out there. Oh, you know, we're out here protesting. No, you're not. You're out there showing your ass and doing nothing. No good for nobody. You weren't even attempting to. You didn't give a shit about doing anything good for anybody, because if you did, you'd have made sure your voice was cared about and heard. And acting a fool like that ain't a way to do it. That shuts people down. Just because you get loud and shit doesn't mean anybody's going to listen to you. That just means people are going to be like, okay, this is obviously, clearly a freaking lunatic. And so they've got nothing of value to say. You want to protest? Go back through history and look at how protesting was done properly. Guess what? It was done peacefully.
By him to do his will.
It's not okay. It's not okay.
But remember this. We walk in the flesh. We're not waging war according to the flesh. We're not at war with people. In Ephesians 6, he makes it clear. This war is with principalities and powers, not with people. This is a spiritual battle. It's just spiritual warfare.
Yep. I don't know how anybody at this point could not believe that. I honestly don't know what you have to be doing to your brain to not see that without being told it. I don't know. Comment down below if you know what the trick is to just be able to not see that we're in a spiritual warfare. I mean, and it's not looking too good, kids. When we don't have a world left, don't cry to us, to the older generation, talking about what, blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. We tried to say something. Most of us.
What happened? Holy shit! Get shot! Call police!
I see the supremacy of Christ being challenged. What did Marx hate? He hated God. This is a war against God. And I don't want to see people deceived.
That's what you're fighting, what you're sitting here trying to bring into being and shit. Every time all you idiots are talking about Marxism, thinking it's a good thing, you have no idea what you're talking about. And until you can pick up a book and learn who Karl Marx was, the real Karl Marx, and not what some leftist dipshit has told you that he is, or what his, ideals were and shit. No. He wanted to be rid of God. He wanted everything to do with God done. He wanted nothing but destruction. So you think, oh no, it's good, we're going to get free stuff and we're going to have this and that and blah, 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 blah. No, you're not. You can read his book, 101. It tells you, no, you convince people that that's what they're going to get just to get them to go along with it. And they will destroy themselves and never get anything they're promised. That's what you idiots that are talking about Karl Marxism and all this shit. Okay, and I'm getting a little too wound up. Woo.
Why is Black Lives Matter important for the U.S. right now and in the world?
Black Lives Matter is our call to action.
He was concerned that there's a lack of ideological direction in Black Lives Matter.
Plug right here. Candace Owens documentary, The Greatest Lie Ever Sold. Highly recommend it. Liars. All of them liars. And extortionists, and frauds, and con artists, thieves. They never gave a shit about any of the black families in any black communities, except their own.
We actually do have an ideological
and
frame.
LGBTQ
Myself and Alicia in particular are trained organizers. We are trained Marxists.
So hear that? Trained Marxist. That was her in her own words.
Communism begins with this German named Karl Marx. 100 years ago, he created the theory of communism in one of his books.
If you have the founders of Black Lives Matter saying that they're trained Marxists, how does Marxism relate to the black community? If you're talking about a community that is deeply rooted in the Judeo-Christian faith heritage, then how do you make that connection?
This is the book, an official copy printed in Moscow, which explains that communism is based on two main ideas. That all religion is bad and that all private property is bad.
Own nothing and be happy.
Religion must be destroyed.
It was Karl Marx who says, my goal in life is to dethrone God and to destroy capitalism.
And notice what skin color that man is when you're sitting there thinking that this Karl Marx shit is for black people or for anybody. He gave a shit about himself. That was it. And he was a miserable, hateful old man. He was a horrible, horrible excuse for a human being. But he's white, by the way. All things white are bad, right? So I'm just saying, why you would think that that was going to be good for the black community is so beyond me. It's not good for any community. Oh, when did we let our kids get so stupid?
His thinking and his writing concentrated on relationships of power. He looked at the world as divided between those who controlled the means of production and those who didn't. Those who had power, those who did not. Those who were oppressors and those who were oppressed.
That's not wanting to help the oppressed people, not wanting to help the people that don't have the power. That's wanting to keep them there.
The haves and the have-nots. The bourgeois and the proletariat.
Karl Marx was inspired by inequities that he saw in society, and he felt that religion was behind the reluctance of people to actually rise up and overthrow the oppressors. He saw God as an enemy because Christians are willing to trust God in their circumstances. Karl Marx very famously said that religion was the opiate of the masses.
We have seen it come.
Religion is the opiate of the masses, because when people go to church and they're more spiritual and religious, they're not out there burning the cities down, and they're not out there killing people, and they're not out there just making life miserable for everybody, including themselves. Sounds like paradise to me, just saying.
Communism got its start in Russia during the chaos and confusion which followed World War I. They promised peace and food, but have brought only war and starvation to their victims.
If the devil came with red horns and a pitchfork, everybody would run. He's a deceiver.
I call bullshit on that one right now. I think half of these little dumbasses, at least half of them, would literally fall down at his feet and just be like, oh my god, you're awesome, you're the good guy. You're cooler, or some stupid shit like that. Something equally stupid. I mean, they practically do it anyways.
This is a deception. Their message was seductive. It addressed their sorrow, addressed their oppression and their pain. They gave a message that says that we can help you with that.
What they offered was attractive.
Because what socialism promises is a utopia. It promises heaven on earth.
And never
that
delivers
we
it.
can have that which God promises without God. That man is the ultimate intellect and ultimate entity in the universe. That he can construct and develop a utopia that will usher in peace, tranquility, and unity of the human race.
A peace that the world has not yet known.
Oh, look. Peaceful protesting. Peaceful protesting.
And if we hunker down and come together all in pursuit of this heaven on earth, then we can accomplish that.
What communism offers, what humanism offers, is a stolen version of Christianity that tries to erase.
It's the tofu of the societies, okay? It's the freaking tofu of societies.
God, but still satisfy that desire in the human heart to see all things made right.
As image bearers of God, we understand right from wrong. What happens is these ideologies come along and they desire to have different outcomes. They desire to put themselves in the place of God.
Karl Marx wanted to dethrone God because you cannot deceive and control a man or woman who has been born of God. He protects you by allowing you to see evil
But if you can dumb them down enough,
words. You overcome culture. You are controlled by what is right.
A person who doesn't believe in God is more susceptible to socialism, to communism.
Anybody who actually thinks that communism or socialism or democratic socialism or any of the buzzlines they give you these days, if you really think that doesn't always end up exactly the same, you really need to read some history books. It never works out. There's a reason. That's never even been a possibility in the United States until this last 10 years or so. And we're heading there fast. I'm going to go ahead and stop this one here and get it uploaded. And as soon as I get that going, I'm going to just start recording again for the next section. Okay? Hope you're enjoying.